Hey everyone, welcome to today's Hell's Kitchen recap.
Last week, Seth was sent home.
Yeah.
Thank God, because I couldn't take him anymore.
Lacey was switched from the women's team to the men's team.
And they weren't too happy about it, especially Ben. He was a total douche to Lacey.
He was like, we just got rid of some dead weight and now we got more.
Thanks a lot, Ben, and welcome to you too. So the chefs got out of the dormitory early. They got whisked away to an Asian market. Where they're going to be shopping to make Asian fusion dishes.
Yeah.
So Robert's all full of himself. He thinks, yeah, my fusion dish is like Captain Crunch and filet mignon. I can see that.
It's Captain Crunch.
You're right. So they have $100 and 25 minutes to shop.
Yep, and they have to make 3 dishes. 1 poultry, 1 fish, and 1 strong Asian dish.
Right, and when they get back to Hell's Kitchen, they're going to have an hour to cook. So the guest judge for this challenge is Tanya Steele from Epicurean.com. And she's dressed a little slutty. She had her girls on display. Alright, a lot slutty. So the winner is going to be featured on Epicurean.com. And they always stack this. They have, like, the girls against the boys in, like, levels, and you know that it's stacked as to what the outcome is going to be.
So, the first round was poultry, and it was Carol and Coy's pomegranate chicken versus Robert and Danny's pad thai and barbecue.
Yeah, I really like the looks of the boys' dish, the chicken leg, where they cut the bone and they make it all fancy like a little lollipop, and it looked good. So yeah, the boys won the first round. So then the second round was the fish dish. Paula and L.A. versus Ben and Larry. Lacey. Alright. The girls had this tuna dish that in the prelims, Chef Ramsay was like, you better make it fancy, just where's the fusion here? So they had that dish versus the scallop dish. They totally picked apart the scallop dish. They were like, ugh. And I don't know, it didn't look that bad to me. Apparently it didn't taste that good. But they really like the tuna dish, so that won. So now it's, of course, girls versus boys tied up. So it comes down to the final dish, the strong Asian dish. Colleen and Andrea versus Jay. I can't understand how he's just one letter. And Giovanni. So they had a Kobe beef sashimi, the girls, versus a beef, what's it called? He didn't even know what it was called.
Yeah, but
Jay.
And it wasn't like it was a standard dish, because Giovanni, made up some names.
Right.
So.
But I mean, come on, you're supposed to know what you're cooking, for crying out loud.
I know, but still.
It was some kind of beef pizzaiole. I don't know how that's like Asian fusion, but...
It's like because it was like Italian.
I know, but where's the Asian? Was it Asian beef? I just can't picture tomato with Asian.
I don't know, but the ladies won.
Right. So, in store for the ladies are some Asian surprises, which we come to find out is that blow-up sumo wrestling. That was hilarious.
So, the sumo wrestlers were Gordon and Jean Philippe.
And a whole lot of sake afterwards.
Yeah.
They were pretty 3 sheets to the wind afterwards. So, the men's punishment, and Lacey, was to make the homemade fortune cookies, which isn't that fun.
No.
And, it's not a terrible punishment. I mean...
It's not like they were cleaning.
I know. Cleaning is, that is really bad. At least you're cooking. And origami.
They had to decorate the whole restaurant with origami.
Right. Which the guys weren't too good at. And they kind of had a whole bonding experience with Lacey because she was kind of good at the origami. And they were all sitting around the table like a bunch of women at a beauty party. And
it's the Joy Luck Club.
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of fun for them. So after that, Ben blew some smoke up Lacey's ass. There's no polite way to put that. He's like, yeah, I'll help you. I'll take you under my wing. If you need any help, just ask. Yeah, like, that's sincere. I guess it kind of was, though, because they did kind of work together. And, you know, Lacey's not a terrible cook. She's just a terrible personality. So, Chef Gordon tells the ladies that the tuna dish was so good, it's on the menu. Tuna's back on the menu. So, during the service, L.A. and Giovanni had amazing risottos, which is something that's pretty hard in Hell's Kitchen. Usually the chefs are wearing it. So, guess who showed up?
2 sumo wrestlers who decided to order the entire menu each.
Yeah, those guys look familiar. I think I've seen them before on other shows. Because that pretty famous sumo wrestlers. So they were enjoying themselves, which was good. Because the whole night was pretty much a disaster. Lacey was doing great on the guys' team. She was very vocal, calling out, you know, how much time we got left and blah, blah, blah. So she was really doing good. But the one a-hole of the evening was the beef Wellingtons.
Yeah.
They were pretty much a problem for everybody.
And Andrea made a few, and she, like, burnt the bottoms.
Yeah.
So she hid them so she wouldn't get in trouble.
You shouldn't hide things because there's cameras around. It's never a good idea to hide stuff.
No.
And Robert was having a problem, too. Not with his beef Wellingtons, but he was hiding stuff. And he had this giant pot of stuff that he was hiding. There's nothing funnier than Gordon, like, finding you out and him, like, you know, this, and what about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Colleen left the oven door open.
It works a lot better if you leave it closed.
Yeah.
So, Robert got so possessed that he showed a few of his anuses.
Well, you have to tell why.
Oh, because Gordon was calling him Bobby. And his dad is Bobby. Excuse us. Like, Gordon's supposed to know, unless you open your mouth, that you don't want to be called Bobby.
So he wasn't answering, and then Ramsey was getting all pissed, so...
Yeah. You know, get over it. You're an adult now. Everybody's got something about their childhood that they didn't like, except for her. So, yeah, Andrea was totally sucking it up on the girls' team. She just couldn't get that meat station working right. As was the case with Jay. He was not having any luck. He was so flustered that he even forgot an order.
Ooh.
That's messed up when you forget an order because it throws off the entire table. So, Colleen, all hell broke loose in Hell's Kitchen when Colleen served a raw dessert. The pear wasn't cooked and the pastry wasn't cooked. How does that get past the, what do they call that person?
Expediter.
The expediter. That's not totally Colleen's fault. How did it get past the expediter?
I don't know.
Alright, so shut it down. Worst Hell's Kitchen service yet.
So obviously there were no winners, but there kind of were.
Yeah.
Giovanni and LA each got to nominate one person from their respective teams.
Right. And Robert, the little bedwetter, has to go and meet with Gordon in private because he doesn't want everybody knowing that he doesn't want to be called Bobby. Okay, so he explained the Bobby thing. I'm really surprised that Gordon was like, oh yeah, I totally respect that. No, I was expecting him to say, grow up, dummy. So, L.A. nominated Andrea. And Giovanni nominated Jay. And, like, when Gordon pressed him a little further, he was like, Robert. I was totally expecting Gordon to be like, ooh, what do you mean, Bobby? But he didn't. So that was disappointing.
So, Ramsey totally played a trick, and he called their names, and he was like, get back in line.
Yeah. And it's Colleen that's going. She needs to go back to teaching because she can't cook. I don't think she was that bad.
She made some pretty big errors.
She was kind of a dumbhead, but, I don't think her cooking was all that bad. I don't know. I'm not liking Andrea so much because she reminds me of Joe from the Orange County Housewives who was going out with Slade, and I just don't like her. All right, so next week, they're totally pulling out the bar mitzvah. And the best part of the episode, I could tell right now from the tease, is the 2 kids with their smashed cake on the floor.
So sad.
Oh. Will it be kosher? I don't know. Oi. So, till next week. Much love.